Hello, how is everyone doing? And today we will be doing the Kabbalah. So let's just jump right in to the origins of the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah, an historic and mystical division of Judaism, presents a symbolic explanation of the universe's origin, human relationship with the Godhead, and an emissionist approach to creation. The central book, Zohar, was not written down until about 1280, possibly by Moses de Leon. The Kabbalah has spiritual links with Gnosticism and other mystical cosmologies. All manifestations are said to have their origin in infinite light, also known as An Safor, and the successive emanations reveal aspects of the Godhead's divine nature. The system is monotheistic in essence, but allows for the tenfold structure of the Sephiroth on the Tree of Life. Occultist and Hermetic order of the Golden Dawn used the Kabbalistic Tree of Life as a matrix or grid for comparing archetypal images of different mythologies that could be adapted to ceremonial magic. This system of comparison became known as mythospheric contradictions. It is common in the occult tradition to link the 10 Sephiroth of the Tree of Life with the 22 cards of the major arcana of the Tarot. So guys, we're going to go over all the spheres, the meanings of the spheres, and how they're intertwined with the arcana of the Tarot. So let's just go over some brief definitions. So the Kabbalah, it's a Hebrew word meaning from mouth to ear, therefore signifying a secret oral tradition. It is the meaning of Kabbalah, right? So we know that the Kabbalah is passed down through word of mouth, right? Because it's hard to get copies of the Talmud unless you are Jewish. Additionally, Ein Sof Or is the Hebrew expression meaning the limitless light. Let's get into the Sephiroth. The Kabbalistic Tree of Life, a symbol of divine energy, consists of 10 spheres, or emanations that progress through 10 stages, culminating in physical manifestation. The Sephiroth represents spiritual reality levels in the cosmos and people, as the tree is the body of God and people are created in his image. The tree is sometimes shown superimposed on the body of Adam Kadmon, the archetypal man. So let's get into the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life is a mystical symbol of the creation of the world through the 10 Sephiroth, which are aligned in 3 columns, headed by the supernals Keter, Chokma, and Bana. These Sephiroth symbolize this process by which the infinite light becomes manifest in the universe. The Tree of Life is also a symbol of the archetypal man, Adam Kadmon, and his role similar to the chakras in yoga. The mystical path of self-knowledge involves the rediscovery of all levels of one's being, ranging from physical reality to the infinite source. Medieval Kabbalists divided the Tree of Life into 3 sections: Nefesh, the animal soul; Rauch, the middle soul; and Neshama, the spiritual soul. Corresponding to the supernals, especially Bana, practitioners of Western magic use the Tree of Life as a glyph for the unconscious mind, distinguishing between magical path, which embraces all 10 Sephiroth, and the mystical path of middle pillar, which is an ascent from Malkut through Yesod and Tiferet to Keter on the central pillar of the tree. So, Zohar, the Book of Splendor. The principal book of the Kabbalah, it is thought to have been written by Moses de Leon and was first circulated around 1280 to 1290 in Guadalajara. It included commentaries on the Torah. Gnosticism. Gnosis is a Greek term for knowledge. The term applies to Gnosis, certainly religious sects that emerged during the early formative years of early Christianity and which believed in hidden spiritual knowledge. The main factor that differentiated them from Christianity was their emphasis on knowledge rather than faith. The Christian Church Fathers considered the Gnostics heretical or heretics. Now we're starting into all the spheres. Now we begin with Kether. So Kether is a great way to think of ether, right? The base word in Kether is ether because this is known as time space. The first emanation on the tree of life, Kether, a state of consciousness where creation merges with non-existence, is symbolized by androgenicity in mystical tradition. It lies on the middle pillar and trances the duality of Chokma, male, and Bana, female, which lie below on the tree. This state of mystical transcendence and union with the Supreme is compared to Satori or Nirvana. So, the Kether is the ether time space, and when man and woman come together, that is the formation of God. This is also known as the Star of David because the masculine triangle aligns with the feminine triangle water. So when these two triangles align, this is how you become with Satori or Nirvana. Now the Chokma. The Chokma is the second emanation on the tree of life. It is associated with the Great Father and the Great Mother. The seminal spark of life is potent until it enters Bina's womb. From the union of the Great Father and Great Mother come forth all the images of creations. Chokma is linked to deities like Kronos, Saturn, Thoth, Atumra, and Ptah, and other pantheons. Bina. The third emanation on the tree of life is associated with Bina, the Great Mother who is the womb of the forthcoming, source of great images and forms that manifest in the universe as archetypes. She is also the supreme female principle in creation and associated with deities like the Virgin Mary, Rhea, Isis, and Demeter through mythological correspondences. Also here, guys, we have a geometry of all the symbolisms within the Sephiroth. We also have the 11 and the 12 added as well. So now the Chesed. The fourth emanation on the tree of life is identified as the ruler of the universe, but not the creator of the manifested universe, characterized by stability, wisdom, and merciful, which contrasts with his more dynamic opposite, Gebura. Chesed is associated with the Greek god Zeus and the Roman god Jupiter. So guys, we see here that even on the tree of life, there is duality going on. From the left and right pillar of positivity and negativity, we see that there is duality and that there is a feminine and a masculine pole on both sides. Now we get into the Gebura. The fifth emanation on the tree of life symbolizes severity and justice, often associated with Mars, the Roman god of war. Its destructive forces of the sphere intend to purge the universe, cleansing its effect on the universe, representing the creator god who applies discipline and precision, removing unwanted elements after their usefulness has passed. Gebura is reflected in the charioteer in the Tarot. Now we have the Tiferet. The sixth emanation on the tree of life is the sphere of beauty, harmonizing mercy, which is Chesed, and judgment, Gebura, higher on the tree. Occultists identify it as the sphere of spiritual resurrection or rebirth, and ascribe it to solar deities like Ra, Apollo, Mithra, as well as Osiris and Jesus Christ. The tarot card Temperance identifies the direct mystical ascent to Tiferet to Malkut, the physical plane. So, excuse me guys, the Tiferet is extremely important because we're going to continuously see the number 6 throughout history and throughout the Jewish culture. This number is very profound, and it is considered the number that man was created. So it has a very symbolic number, and it is going to reappear over and over and over again. Then we have Netzach. The seventh emanation on the tree of life is Netzach. It represents the sphere of creativity, subjectivity, and emotions, in contrast to the intellectual, focused, and rational thought of sphere of Hod. Netzach is the sphere of love and spiritual passion and is therefore associated with deities like Aphrodite, Venus, and Hathor, who personify these qualities. Now we have Hod. The eighth emanation on the tree of life, Hod. The eighth emanation on the tree of life represents intellectual, rational thought, and the mind's structuring capacities as opposed to the emotion and intuitional aspects of Netzach. It has no exact parallel in the Tarot, but is closely linked to the card Judgment, ascribed to the path between Hod and Malkut. Now we have Yesod, the ninth emanation on the tree of life. Yesod is associated with the moon and the element water, regarded as the female sphere. It is the seat of sexual instinct and corresponds to the genitals chakras on the archetypal man, Adam Kadmon. On the tree of life, Yesod has function of channeling the energies of the higher down to the earth below. Malkut. Occultists associate Yesod with the astral plane because if the Sephirot above Malkut are regarded as a map of the unconscious psyche, Yesod is the most accessible area of the mind because Yesod is the sphere of fertility and lunar imagery. It is identified with witchcraft and goddess worship. It is also the so-called animal soul known by Kabbalists as Nipishk. So, guys, the Yesod is extremely important because it has a lot to do with how. So they say, there's a saying that goes, women have babies and men have Kabbalah. So understanding how the Yesod and the lunar system correlates is extremely important with how things happen in Kether or ether time space. So to round it all off, we have the Malkut, the 10th emanation of the tree of life. Malkut is associated with goddesses of the earth, especially Persephone from Greece, Prosperina from Rome, and Jeb from Egypt. Malkut is the domain of the manifested universe, the immediate environment, the plane of physical reality. As a consequence, all inner journeys of consciousness begin symbolically in Malkut. It is particularly appropriate, for example, that the myth of assault of Persephone confirms her both as queen of the underworld and as the lunar goddess from an occult point of view. The underworld equates with the lower unconscious mind, and the moon represents the sphere of Yesod. Is the first Sephara reached on the inner mystic journey up on the tree of life. Malkut is closely linked with the tarot card, the world. So guys, here is another imagery for you that it shows all the spheres in motion. We see that we start from 0 to 9. That's really, because 0 really is the starting point. And we work our way all the way to Yesod, which is the moon. So guys, this is the Kabbalah and the 10 spheres all explained. If you guys have any questions about the Kabbalah or any questions in general about this, leave them in the comments. I'd love to read it. And thank you guys for watching.